It's Friday, and you know what that means. Time for the casuals. I'm your host, Kunal Kohli, joined alongside the Hebrew Hammer and our good Lord and Savior, Isis. What is good, boys? What's new in your lives?
I recently got a new sales job, and they gave me a script to follow. I was wondering if we could do a little role playing.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. Welcome to the dealership. Are you folks just looking and shopping around today?
No, I don't. I'm just looking.
Great. Most people usually start out that way. Have you ever been here before, or are you looking for someone specific?
No, this is my first time ever going to a dealership.
Oh, cool. I apologize. My name is Elias. And who you are?
My name is the Hebrew Hammer.
Cool. Do you mind if I write your name down so I don't forget?
Yeah, as long as you don't sell my information.
That's not part of the script, sir. We do things a bit different here at the dealership. With your permission, I'd like to sit down and discuss what you are looking for so that I can maximize your time and so that we can both be on the same page. Fair enough?
Sir, I literally just walked into the building. I'm in the market for a new car, and I'm trying to scout all of these cars. I don't even know what I'm looking for. So just leave me alone and let me be.
Follow me. Let me get you checked in.
This is going amazingly, by the way.
You're great at this.
I realize that most people do a lot of shopping online, so I ask, what stage are you in?
I'm literally looking.
What are you looking to accomplish today?
I'm just trying to see what's out there.
How can I assist in making that happen, sir?
Oh no, you're the one that went up and talked to me.
Oh.
You're the one with a pamphlet. You should know.
1 second, I gotta find that response. Oh, here, ready? I'd like to consider myself a car buying concierge. My job is simple. I help my clients get what they want, how they want it, and when they want it. Fair enough?
Sir, I don't even know what I want or how I want it.
Have you ever bought a car and thought it took way too much time?
No, I haven't. It's usually pretty quick.
Me too. In order to save you time and money, we do this. There's no other things to the script, sir. I don't know what to do here.
All right, tell you what. I'm going to go look around. If I see anything I like, I'll go pull you over.
Great, sir. Before I get the keys to the vehicle that we spoke about, would you be interested in a vehicle that has a little less equipment that might be a better value?
Yeah, give me the sport edition.
Well, I consider myself a car buying concierge. My job is simple. I help my clients get what they want, how they want it, and when they want it.
Sir, are you slow?
I'm in a special program here at the dealership. They get some kind of tax break or something.
It's nice to see that the dealership is an equal employment resource.
EEOO, man. EEOO.
Love it. Love it. Love to see it.
I agree, sir. We do a bit things different here at the dealership.
That was great. That was beautiful.
Bravo.
You said you just started. You're basically an expert.
Yeah. For some reason, the script's not working. I haven't made any sales yet. They leave comments at the end and they say that I'm super awkward, but I don't know how to not be awkward.
I think you're doing a beautiful job. Just keep plugging away, you know? Stick to the script and you'll get there.
Just
There's no
show them our
answers for
podcast.
these.
Yeah, can you like just advertise the challenge?
I don't think that's part of the script.
Each car comes with a free subscription.
Sir, I don't know if that comes with your car.
Well, you know what does come with this podcast? The next segment. All right, guys, this next one is coming from the legend himself, Mel Kiper Jr.
He's electric.
He truly is electric. Let's listen in for ourselves.
We don't know what Justin Fields will be. I know what Sam Darnold is. So he's like, well, he's not that good. Well, I think he's shown enough to determine that he will be the guy to see what he can do and whether he deserves that second contract. I'm not all about the money, Max. I think it's all about getting the right quarterback. And we don't know what these rookies can do. From 2009 to 2016, 22 quarterbacks won in the first round. None are with the team that drafted them. Wentz was the last.
All right, boys. So should the Jets look to trade Sam Darnold for an unknown? Or should they keep developing him?
So I am a huge fan of Mel's passion for all of the players that he loves. But the thing is, like, he's acting like Sam Darnold is proven. He's saying, oh, these rookies are unproven. They don't know what they have with them. With Sam Darnold, it's like, he's been on the team for 4 years, but you could honestly say that he's still in the shadows. We don't know what he's actually great at. We don't know what he can bring to a team at this point. We don't know if he's an actual franchise level quarterback. We know that he had shown glimpses of it, but not consistently, even though, yes, like the situation was horrible. Not sure of how many quarterbacks could have succeeded in that situation, but the fact is he just really hasn't shown us anything. So I don't know how we can say that when it's literally, I feel like it's pretty ironic how he's saying don't draft a guy because all of these first round quarterbacks don't pan out. But Sam Darnold is literally one of those first round draft quarterbacks that haven't panned out.
Yeah, I have unfortunately been watching a lot of Sam Darnold games since I'm a Jets fan. He's just not he might be good somewhere else, but he's not good in New York. Get him out of New York. Let him start new. He is a turnover machine. He makes horrible decisions. He's a one-read guy. He throws the ball into triple coverage. He's just not a good quarterback. And frankly, he's a guy that had one good year in college and blew up. People were saying that he was going to be the first round pick or the first overall pick if he went out that year, but he couldn't because he was a sophomore or a freshman. No, a sophomore. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. And then he kind of had an okay sophomore season, comes out, and he's just kind of been trash. But Mel Kiper, if you look at who he has the Jets picking, it's Kyle Pitts, the tight end out of Florida. Now, if you're going to keep Darnold, you need to get one of the top receivers in the draft. You don't need to get a tight end. Some people are saying that Kyle Pitts might be the second best player in the draft. I think if that's true, great. But if you're going to keep Darnold, you got to get a receiver.
I find it interesting that he believes this, though, even though Darnold is basically a rookie to the new coaching staff. They know nothing about this guy.
I mean, I wouldn't say that they know nothing about him.
Other than a couple plays on film.
I mean, he has 3 years worth of tape. It's not like he's brand
Was
new.
it really 3 years worth of tape, though? It's
okay, 2.5 years.
It's like 2.5 years, and then most of it is just vomit.
I mean, yeah, but he, like you said, he was in a bad situation.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't know what you have if he has a full team around him, but I mean, you have enough film, or you have enough of people that are enough plays from him to know what he could be. And if you think he can be better than what is in the draft this year, then yeah, you keep him. But if you think that there's somebody who's even on the same level of him or can be better, then you draft that quarterback.
We got Nick Wright over on First Things First on FS1. Nick with the take. Take it away, Nick.
We have to talk about the quitting. We have to. I've defended Harden his whole career. He quit on the Rockets.
All right, guys, how do we feel about this one?
So Nick Wright the glorified LeBron James dick rider. He's obvious. This is why he has this take, because he realizes that James Harden playing at a superstar level looks awesome. His team looks awesome, and he's greatly threatening LeBron's MVP chances. So looking at that, that's why he has this take. I don't know if he actually believes it, because he was only on the Rockets for 10 games. And you see the difference between the Rockets with him and without him. Like, they're riding an 11-game losing streak right now. And the Nets are looking awesome. So you could literally say that he proved twice that he is the most valuable player.
I think Nick actually has a decent point here. Do you reward James Harden for being a little baby and, you know, forcing his way out? And, you know, he could have been doing what he was doing. He could be doing what he's doing on the Nets with the Rockets, but he just chose not to. So are you going to give the MVP to a guy who is just going to cry like a baby when he doesn't get his way? Are you going to give it to the guy that's going to come in and day out and give his team 100% all the time?
I think you give it to the guy that's the most valuable player to his team. And I think he's proven it. And I think the Rockets look like absolute cheeks without him. And I think the Nets, you see the difference with him and without him. So I think he proved it on two organizations. And I think that actually, in my book, I think that bolsters his case.
I mean, I hate to say it, but Nick Wright is right. That's why his last name is Wright. I mean, you're only saying that because you're a Nets fan, but I mean, if you're a Houston fan, you got to be kind of upset about it. Why would you reward somebody for that? You're not answering that question.
Good thing Houston fans aren't the ones voting. And
Okay,
honestly, from an unbiased perspective, what Harden is doing is just ridiculous. He completely bought in and changed his entire. He changed his style of play after one game, and he looks awesome and like a completely different player. And honestly, you can't hate on a guy for going to a place that makes him happy.
Okay, but the way that he got his way out of Houston, he could have done it a better way.
How else was he supposed to do it?
He could have played like he was actually an MVP caliber player on the Rockets. Instead, he was lazy and he just wasn't playing it 100%. I would rather give it to the guy that's gonna work on whatever team he's on instead of just being a little baby.
So you would have rather had him. I mean, in this case, you think it would have made sense for him to waste another year of his prime?
No, but I also don't think that he should dictate what team he goes to and when he goes to it.
I think in a player-centered league, I think it makes sense. And the fact that it actually worked shows that this league is different than we're used to.
Okay, but he's just making the league shitty, in my opinion. Because he's literally saying to any superstar, if you don't like what's going on in your team, if you don't think that you personally can bring your team to a finals, then you can just cry like a little bitch and get off that team and make a super team with your friends.
After giving an organization 10 years of your prime.
That's his fault. If you didn't like it, then you could have became a free agent at some point during those 10 years and you could have gone to another team.
I mean, the Rockets still got a haul for him. So, I mean, it's not like the Rockets are feeling that horrible about this.
But could he not have moved on? Whenever he felt like it, did he have to sign his extension? Were the Rockets forcing him to sign the extension?
This is this year's MVP, sir. Not one from 2 years ago.
Okay, but he didn't. He cried and said he didn't want to play on the team.
Yeah.
And he made a commitment to that team.
And at least he still showed up and played.
So he should be rewarded for that. He didn't show up and play. He gave 75%.
I mean, that's still better than what Kawhi did when he was with the Spurs for that 1 year.
And I don't think Kawhi should have won MVP that year. winning I mean, he didn't win MVP. He shouldn't have been. He would not have been in the race. I don't think.
The fact
If you're
is,
gonna,
he was crying for what, 10 games?
he was crying for longer than. I mean, it was.
If you think those 10 games
showed-
really
he didn't
dictate,
show up to camp.
and he missed how many games?
Okay, but still,
So like it's what, like 10 to 14 games at max? That he was either non-existent or just not trying 75% of what he should be. So you're saying that those couple games dictate the rest of the season. It doesn't even matter what he's doing, which is obviously ridiculous.
I mean, I'm not saying that, but like Nick Wright said, he gave up on his team, and I don't think he should be rewarded for that.
Well, that's what he's literally saying, and you agree with him. So yeah, that's what you're saying.
I know that's what I've been saying. I'm agreeing with him. I don't know what else you want me to say.
So yeah, 15 games dictate it.
I'm not
Doesn't matter
saying-
what else he does. He's
I'm not
just
saying
fucked.
that.
That's what
Okay,
that's what he's
then-
saying. That's
okay,
literally
let
the
him be.
argument.
Okay, then he should be doing the same thing on the Rockets.
Guys, TNT inside the NBA, we had Candace Parker on. Let's look at this exchange between her, D Wade, and Shaq.
So
Why? Whatever happened?
because everybody can shoot threes.
Whatever happened to man up?
Because you're going to be manning up trying to recover back to your man, and they're going to hit a three just like Jokic did.
Well, but
when-
whatever happened to pre-rotating and make
Don't do
it-
that.
then they move the ball around. And
You got
somebody gets
4 to
a
5
in the
3-point
quarter.
shooters on the court. You ain't gonna rotate enough time.
Not rotating. Not rotating.
Yeah, but you got to take the easy pass away.
All right, guys. So we can agree Shaq is really stupid, right?
When did Shaq turn into this guy?
He's just
It's
a
like
grumpy old
that,
man
right?
now.
It's just like he used to be fun. Like he used to be what made TNT great with him and Charles Barkley just, going at it. But now all of a sudden it was just like, I feel like it started like halfway through last season and now into this season. He's just been saying some like stupid ass shit. And it's just like he doesn't seem like he's informed with the NBA. And it's just like, how can you not be when one, you were in the league and you played in the league, and then two, you have so much access to all these games. You can watch multiple games at a time, real time. Like, how can you even be this misinformed?
His job is literally to talk about basketball, and he doesn't even know these players' names.
Like, how can someone like us who work full-time jobs and can barely watch games because they work full-time jobs know what's going on, and we're casuals?
I mean, maybe he belongs on the show because he is actually a casual now.
I mean, I would welcome Shaq on
Yeah.
the show. We would take his clout.
But
But
come on, like, what the fuck was that? Like,
Like, how do you not know that the NBA is all about switching? Like, literally, that's what it's been ever since, like, Steph became Steph, right? That's when it really turned.
and
How
it
many
makes
games-
sense. Wow, just keep going. Sorry.
I was gonna say, how many games do you think Shaq has actually watched in since the 3-point revolution? Let's call it that, I guess.
I mean, he's got to
Over
watch it
under
every
5.
Thursday.
Well,
I
if
mean,
he was actually watching, he would realize that switching was literally how the NBA plays defense nowadays.
it makes sense though, based on his takes. Like, he hates all of these players, and he thinks they're all pussies and shit now. But it's like literally like, it's a different age, man. They're not one-on-oneing everybody, and if they do, then they're hurting their team. Like he thinks that like he has these unreal expectations. He thinks it's the 90s or something. And then he uses it in a way to shit on these young players when it's not even their fault. It's really ridiculous to me.
Things are getting a little fucked up when Charles Barkley is making more sense than Shaq. I never thought we would be in this situation, but Charles Barkley seems like the genius, and Shaq seems like the Charles Barkley.
I think you're giving Charles too much credit.
No, I would much rather.
I don't
listen
know.
To Charles. No, at this point, Charles Barkley knows more about basketball than Shaq.
I don't know. Like, you see the post-game interviews that Charles has?
I don't know. Ever since Charles played golf, he knows what's going on.
He's been playing golf for 30 years.
Yeah, but not like he was on the match.
I mean, he was playing with MJ, bro. He was known as like the world's shittiest golfer.
Hey, Charles Barkley is the greatest basketball mind in all of the NBA. And Shaq is the dumbest commentator in all of the NBA. He's worse than Kurt Herlin.
Heelan.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. He
Put some
fucking
respect,
sucks.
man. That's Steven Heelan's brother.
No, I don't get. Kurt Heelan fucking sucks.
Yo, if Shaquille O'Neal had Twitter fingers, how ratioed would he get?
Oh, we're
I feel like
talking.
he would tweet a lot like Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's true. He's just a fucking grumpy old man that hates his life, man.
I'm
And
the
then
greatest center of all time. It's very sad how bad these other players are. I'm the greatest of all time. That's what his tweets would be.
And I love like how his counter argument was, well, how many championships did I win playing this style of basketball?
We got
It's
a
like-
ring, right?
Yeah,
D-Wade, we got a ring, right?
it's the equivalent of like you talking football with someone that played like JV in high school and like had one touchdown. And then you're talking sports or talking football with them. And they're like, well, I played football. What did you do? It's like, just because like you have that experience doesn't mean that you're actually qualified to speak on anything regarding the sport.
I think Shaq playing in professional basketball, he might have some kind of knowledge over someone who played JV.
Yeah,
But
I'm just saying it's the
that's-
equivalent.
that's just me. It's not the equivalent. They went actually played in professional basketball. They got to put some respect on the guy's name. Come on.
Did you not listen to what I just said?
No, I did, but still, he still has experience at playing professional basketball.
You just completely like ignored what I just said. Like, I didn't say they were the same thing at all. I'm just saying it's literally like
You compared the two.
so I'm saying I'm all right, let me take it back down because I know that you're kind of slow at hearing tonight. So basically I'm saying that Shaquille O'Neal basically trying to explain himself and trying to back up his point with his only counterpoint was that he won a championship playing that method of basketball is the equivalent of you getting into an argument with someone that played JV football that's saying that you can't talk football because you didn't play football. That's the equivalent that I'm saying. I'm not saying that.
And then, okay, I'm just gonna say this: it is a shitty comment. It's a shitty analysis. It's a shitty reference because you're talking about someone who played JV football over a guy who played professional basketball. Or let's just say if it was JV
It's an
basketball versus someone
analogy,
who played
bro. That's how
professional.
they work. They're never
Okay,
gonna
it's a
be
shitty-
equal.
It's a shitty. Okay, it's a shitty analogy.
It's not.
You're literally saying, oh, because okay,
Oh my god, bro.
it's just
Alright.
it's just shitty. Just end the segment.
All right, guys. Colin Cowherd, he thinks he's Nostradamus. Let's take a listen here to this clip.
Where Colin was right.
Oh, Zion Williamson, where are all the critics now? Fourth youngest All-Star ever. What about his defense? What about it? Young guys are never great at defense. Charles?
All right, let's be real. Let's be real for a sec. How many of us in the Zoom call predicted that Zion would be a great NBA player? Raise of hands.
I had no idea.
Wow.
I don't know how he predicted that one. It's literally like the equivalent of someone saying like, "Oh, I predict that Peyton Manning is going to be a good quarterback." It's like, come on, bro. Like, they're literally once in a generation type players, and you're out here taking credit for being right because 1% of the haters for some reason thought that Zion wasn't going to be good. Like, I know that he sounds really fucking stupid in most of his takes, and he has to grasp onto the few topics that he's actually right on, but come on, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't really. There's not much to say. Alan said it perfectly. It's a stupid take.
Come on, Colin. I mean, he always does this shit too.
He does. It's just, it irks me because, again, everybody got this right. You know, like, you had to be, I don't know, watching something other than basketball to not know that Zion Williamson was going to be an absolute stud. We knew this since high school. Like, second he stepped foot through the door, we knew that he was going to be great.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they get paid for, though.
I'm just saying, I got it right 2 years earlier.
Yeah,
I called it right 2 years earlier. I saw a Zion clip on Instagram and said, that guy's going to be a stud. Where's my check? Where it at, though?
And then the thing that pisses me off is that he's probably never going to let this take die. He's always going to be that guy that's like, oh, well, I predicted he was going to be a phenom.
Guys, I called Zion first.
Yep.
No one else in the room did. That was Colin Cowherd.
Unbelievable.
Alrighty, folks. This one coming from A to Z Sports, KansasCity.com, proving why the Chiefs would win the Super Bowl in a rematch. Isis, should this article even have been published?
No. Whoever wrote this, I don't know if it was Justin Churchill or Churchill, whatever his name is. I don't know if he wrote it, but this didn't need to hit the internet at all. Could they have won the Super Bowl in a rematch? Sure. I mean, that's why they say, like, any given Sunday, anybody can win. But I mean, if nothing changed, I didn't read this article because I wouldn't waste my time, nor would I want to give the person a click. If everything was the same, then no, the Chiefs probably don't win in a rematch. I mean, I don't think people understand how banged up their offensive line was. They lost their left tackle to an Achilles injury. He won't be playing if the game happened today. So they had to rearrange their whole offensive line, and Tampa Bay took advantage of that. And that's literally the only reason why they won is because they made Pat Mahomes run around and he wasn't protected. That's literally what they won.
So I was one of the clowns that actually gave this dude a click. And he was basically saying, like, yeah, if they played today, the offensive line would be healthy. That's like me losing to you in 2K and being like 2 days later, like, dude, I would have beat you because I'm less tired than I was 2 nights ago.
That was a great analogy.
It's funny because it's true. But Isis, how do you feel about like hypothetical articles like this? Like, I feel like I see them on every team site.
Hypothetical articles are so stupid, especially ones if you're saying like, oh, could this person go here in free agency, something like that. That makes sense. But some stupid hypothetical about a game that already happened is just, there's no reason to write it. I'm guessing this was a 300-word article about why Kansas City is so good from a homer that lives and breathes Kansas City football, who most likely is probably a bandwagoner, let's be honest. I really don't see why we're even giving it the time of day on our podcast, because it's just a stupid article.
Well, the guy is probably he probably locked himself in his room crying for the last month.
I mean, good for him. Let him go talk to a guy who hasn't even witnessed a Super Bowl on his team, or somebody that hasn't even watched their team make the playoffs. Let them. They're crying every single year. The guy witnessed the Super Bowl last year, so You lose one, you went to one, you got to enjoy a Super Bowl. Go cry, because your team in the Super Bowl. I wish my team would go to the Super Bowl.
You should write you should write an analysis of how the Jets could have won the Super Bowl last year.
There was no chance that the Jets would win the Super Bowl last year with the stupid moron Adam Gase on their team as the head coach. They literally had a negative 500% chance of winning the Super Bowl last year.
I don't know. You saw how hard those boys were playing.
2 dubs, baby.
Yeah, those 2 dubs cost us Trevor Lawrence.
So this was on the timeline a few days ago. At Beagle Beaks 11, I want to take Gab Goody on a date to a wedding. The boys got me. Gab got back to him saying, listen to this list of demands, boys. He needs to get 30,000 likes, a reply from an NBA, MLB, and NFL team, and a reply from an MLB, NBA, and an NBA player. What?
Who is this? Who is she to be able to demand a list like that? Like fucking Gal Gadot isn't gonna be asking for that much to go to a prom with someone.
Well, it's a wedding.
Or whatever. And honestly, he's gonna get to the wedding with her, and she's probably gonna ditch him as soon as everyone starts dancing anyways.
And I bet you she has a real boring personality too. I bet you she she puts on this facade on Twitter, acting like she's some kind of big time celebrity that, her shit don't stink, that, wherever she's walking, there's paparazzi, when in reality, outside of Twitter, nobody knows who the fuck this girl is. And our fucking king over here, Brandon, who is, might I say, sexy as hell, deserves much more than what she's giving him. What she should have said is, if I get 30K likes, if I get a NBA, MLB, and NFL team to reply, and a NBA, MLB, or NFL player to reply, then I'll go with him. And I bet you she wouldn't even get that shit. But our king Brandon over here, he can get any woman that he wants in any situation. And this female is just trying to get clout from Brandon because she knows that he has the biggest clout on Twitter and the biggest penis.
Chin up, King. You're better than this. I'm surprised that she didn't ask you to cure cancer at the same time. You don't have to degrade yourself on Twitter like this, man. You're better. Hopefully a dime piece sees this shit and agrees to take you out for none of that. I pray for that. You deserve this.
I just have one question for Gabby Goody. Who the fuck do you think you are that you're going to degrade my man Brandon and say that he needs to do all this shit? Who the fuck are you? Literally, what does your bank account look like? I bet you got $100 in your bank account. I bet you in 5 weeks you're going to see an OnlyFans coming up on that link up top. Get the fuck out of this. Get the fuck off of Twitter and let this man Brandon live in peace, because you don't even deserve Brandon. Brandon is the type of guy who's going to come home when he's worked a hard day's work, rub your feet, give you a massage, make you dinner, and you're out here asking for 30K likes and all this other shit. Gabby Gould, you are a bad person, and you should not get the clout that you get.
You literally got a DraftKings sponsorship, and then all of a sudden you think you can just run this shit and ruin Brandon's life. That's not okay. That's just the sign of a shitty person, man. I don't care if you are a Browns fan.
And let me just tell you, if I showed a little bit of titty too, I'd get a fucking FanDuel account or sponsorship as well.
For sure.
You're lucky that I don't do that, because I would steal that in a heartbeat. They'd say, "Damn, look at that guy. He's got nice nipples. He's got nice breasts and a booty. And we're gonna pull your sponsorship and give it to him."
Watch your
And then I would
back.
share that shit with Brandon, and I would take him out on a nice date, a nice wedding date. I would dance with him. I'd grab his ass. I'd be all up on that shit.
And he's gonna take him to the bees after.
Where we're gonna get unlimited boneless wings.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I'm feeling generous today. Brandon, slide into our DMs on Twitter or Instagram. We'll hook you up with a
You
nice
know what,
little wedding
Brandon?
package.
Brandon, I'll go to this wedding with you. I'm a good date.
But no, hit us up for some merch. We got you, Brandon. We got you.
Brandon, you know what? I'm gonna even one up on all that shit. Come on our podcast. Tell us why you are the greatest king of all kings, and just, we're kings supporting kings.
That's what we are. Guys, at Funky Diabetic 1, Ty Lue has a 61% win rate and a title, but there's still talk on if he sucks or not. So let's settle the debate right now. Does Ty Lue suck?
Elias, you go.
Oh no. I was gonna say something disrespectful, but I decided not to at the last second. I think there should be some kind of debate on if he sucks or not, because I feel like you really don't know. He has been blessed with very good teams in his head coaching tenures. He had one of the all-time greats as his first, on his first team, and now he has Kawhi and PG and a very good team around him. So I feel like anything that is bad with him can kind of be, disguised with the talent around him. I think it's tough to tell right now.
Yeah, like I used to. I'm not gonna lie. Like after his Cavs run, I was on the side that thought that he was horrible and was carried by LeBron. But after seeing what he's doing this year, I might have to retract that. So, a function of being a coach, like first of all, you obviously have to be a great leader, and you have to win. And then the thing that nobody talks about is that if you have a bunch of different personalities, you have to be the guy that can bring everyone together. And that's what he did during Cleveland. They looked like trash before him, couldn't get it done. He fixed them, and they had one of the craziest runs ever against the greatest team of all time. They didn't look like trash before, but they were not in the same class as Golden State.
I mean, if you want to get down to it, if you really want to get down to it, David Blatt could have probably won a finals had his team been healthy.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I mean,
Michael Dellavedova was the second best player on that team in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, if they had a healthy Kyrie, would have had another scorer. Like, that's debatable, but there's no looking back at it now to even debate that. That's just theoretical.
There's no reason to do hypotheticals.
Right.
Yeah.
Save
But,
your hypotheticals.
But the thing is, you look at it this year, he replaced a absolute legend. And the Clippers, they didn't play like a team last year. Not sure if it was all his fault because both of their stars were in and out of the lineups. It didn't seem like they had any chemistry. But then they replaced him with Lue, and all of a sudden they look like a real team. And it looks like they could actually make a pretty deep run into the playoffs with this squad. So, you look at both teams that he was running, and there's one common denominator, and both of his teams looked like they were together playing like a really good team. So maybe he is actually a really good coach. I mean, we were hyping up Spoelstra for doing what he did on the Heat, but we didn't ever give Ty Lue any credit.
I think players really respect Ty Lue because that man got stepped over by Allen Iverson and got back up. He grabbed himself by the shoestrings, pulled himself up, and still finished that game. I mean, man was straight disrespected, and
now he has more chips.
He still
than
finished
AI.
the game.
Ironically, what he's good at though is letting his players do whatever they want to do. without letting them walk all over him.
He learned his lesson.
Yep. Pretty awesome stuff. It comes all the way back around.
Well, to know he's challenge certified.
Yep.
And think about this. His career came full circle because he wouldn't have won his finals as a head coach without another player stepping over his player.
True.
Guys, what are these? The new Adidas Tommy Cash Superstar. What are these? Why?
Who's buying these?
Some clowns.
Literally.
They look like they were made for KD exclusively.
What if like you're like in a subway train and you sit down? Like, can you even wear those? Can you even sit down with those? You're gonna be like poking the person in front of you. And like,
imagine how long it takes to lace those shits up.
Oh my god, bro!
Yeah.
You gotta take like a day off in order to do them.
Wow. Like they probably cost what, like $800, something like that. And it's like you wear those shits, and if you live in a city or something, you're gonna have like 20 people step on them at the same time.
Bro, how are your shoes longer than a Subway sub?
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
Like,
and like
a foot long. Like, bro, how?
And how is that not Little Pump?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Because I don't even know who the fuck Tommy Cash is. Is he a rapper?
Yeah, he's a rapper from...
It's probably trash.
I had the country up just a few seconds ago.
Wait, so Tommy Cash just woke up one day. He's like, do you know what the shoe industry doesn't have? A 4-foot-long shoe. Someone needs this.
I think Adidas would have a better chance of selling these if it was Little Pump. Because I feel like that's what Little Pump would wear.
I mean, he is a clown.
He's not.
That's a debate for another day.
He just likes MAGA. I don't know who would wear this. Why you would wear it. I don't know what.
Oh, I mean, some hype beast would wear it.
I mean, that's it. I mean, honestly, I'm not sure if anyone would actually wear them. I think it's more for resale and for like novelty. You would just like frame this shit.
Yeah, you'd collect
in your
it.
basement. Yeah,
I guess. Like, if you're a Tommy Cash fan and you need the Tommy Cash Superstars, good on you. But these are the wackiest shits I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't know. And like, if you're walking alone in the hood, are they gonna jump you and steal these things, or are they just gonna laugh at you?
Oh, you just get laughed at. Like, I wouldn't wear this to the barbershop.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And then you would have to defend it. You'd be like, nah, these are the Tommy Cashes. These are Fuego, bro.
Bro, these are so long. Isis is still trying to ponder this shit. Like,
No. I was looking up how many times Tommy Cash gets streamed on Spotify. It's 315,307 per month. Man's putting in work. Can I play his number one song, or are we going to get copyrighted infringed?
I think we'll get copyright infringed, but hats off to Tommy Cash for getting an Adidas collab. But these are not a hit.
Man has 0 club. 1 second, I'm doing some research. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Isis. I'm trying to fathom, like...
Okay, so Little Pump should have definitely been the guy who was collabing with this, because he has 9 million monthly listens after being MAGA, and Tommy Cash only has 300,000. I'm sorry.
All right, boys, you know what we have to do? 300,000 streams per month. Then we come out with the challenge sneakers.
Yep.
All right, guys, this was on ESPN, hypothetical trade. You know, I already know how we feel about our hypotheticals, but in this, the Golden State Warriors would get John Collins, Kevin Huerter, Cam Reddish, and a 2021 first rounder from the Hawks
For who?
Eric Paschal, Kent Bazemore, Damian Lee, Jordan Poole, Marquise Chris, Michael Mulder, and that coveted Minnesota Timberwolves top 3 protected first rounder. What are your thoughts?
Can I go first?
Yeah, go first.
So it's not bad. It's the ESPN franchise has been trash for probably a half a decade now. But the fact that they put this on ESPN Plus, which means you had to pay for this article, is ridiculous. They literally said, what can we put together to make people just pay for our dumbass subscription? And they came up with this unrealistic scenario. I don't understand who wins in this trade.
Oh, Golden State easily.
I mean Golden State, but why would the Hawks do it? Like I don't get, just to get that top 3 protected pick that you may not even get until next year.
And like the thing
I
is,
just
like,
don't get why anybody. I don't get why the Hawks would do this.
and the thing is, like, if they like, let's say the pick isn't protected and it's like top 5, it's like 4 or 5. The Hawks pick isn't going to be that good in general. So like, you're basically getting rid of John Collins, and you might move up a couple spots at best. That's like literally what they're saying. But like, you could literally trade John Collins right now for a first, maybe even 2. So I don't understand how this trade would even work. Why would they have to? Yeah.
And you're downgrading so much. I mean, Kevin Huerter is a solid shooter. Cam Reddish is a solid 2-way player.
Yeah.
Nobody in return, maybe Marquise Chris, really makes up for that value,
Maybe if it was just like Wiseman in that first round pick, maybe you could get something done. Maybe it would be even. But I just don't see the value in.
If you're throwing Wiseman in, I would want a lot more. Well, if I'm being straight up, like, give me
Draymond.
You're saying from Golden State or from the Hawks?
Yeah, for that haul, like, that's worth a Draymond.
Yeah, if you throw Draymond in there to get his contract off the books, maybe not even give him the first round pick.
Maybe this ESPN writer is like, oh yeah, maybe the Hawks realize that they would try to get good too early and they want to just suck and keep getting good draft picks. That's the only logic that I could see, unless there's like, the thing is, like, it's top 3 protected. I didn't even realize that. And like, that pick is worth way less, I feel like, because of that.
My thing is, even if say the Timberwolves get a top 10 pick, which they are, as long as it's above like pick 7, I want to say, in this year's draft, you're getting a quality player.
Yeah, but you're swapping your pick that's probably still going to be a top 10 pick anyways.
Yeah.
So you're literally giving away like Collins to move up like 2 spots probably.
Like, that's the only way I can logically frame this trade. Else it's just such a stupid trade for Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, the rest of the trades are I don't know why the Nets would need JJ Redick. I don't know how he helps them
at
at
that.
all.
Why would you need like another? You need a center. Why would you need another person that's literally not going to be able to play?
Yeah,
like you're trying to average 160 points per game now. That's how the Nets win.
It's like he's not committing on defense. He doesn't help them at all. It's like, get a wing or a big man. That's all they need.
No, but he literally would be like at best the 7th man, right? When KD comes back, because where are you going to put Joe Harris?
They would use him like Shamet, I guess. Like, I don't. That's a stupid.
But Shamet's a better defender than JJ Redick.
He's still kind of trash.
Yeah.
But you're right. At least he like commits because he's a role player and he kind of has to. The Lowry trade I love. the Gordon trade, that's fine. I just don't know if that really helps them.
So of all these, I mean, Lou Will to the 76ers is probably my favorite on this list.
Yeah, for the Sixers, but I don't know what the Clippers would get in return for that to make sense. A point guard?
They're getting rid of a point guard. Why would they want?
Yeah, you wouldn't need a point guard.
Like a real point guard, like Shake Milton.
That actually wouldn't be that bad of a trade. Like, and I love Shake Milton. I think Shake is a tremendous part of that Sixers team.
Yeah, because the Clippers, they just need a guy that can run the offense. Like Beverly and Reggie Jackson, they're not doing that shit.
And folks, that's all the time we have for this episode of The Casuals on the Challenge Sports Podcast Network. As always, I'm your host, the Chief Kunal Kohli, joined alongside the Hebrew Hammer and our good Lord and Savior. Catch you next Friday. This has been The Casuals.
Goodbye, guys.